and welcome back to the channel. So today we are going to be doing one of my favorite baked goods treats, and that is scones. Now this scone recipe is going to be a little bit different. Well, actually not a little bit, really big of a difference, because we aren't going to be using white flour and we aren't going to be using whole wheat flour. What we will be using is coconut meal, almond meal, and my favorite plant-based monk fruit sweetener, which tastes exactly like real sugar. But guys, don't even worry, because if you don't want to cook with that type of sugar, in the website below, on that link below, I actually have the recipe for the scone, but using regular white sugar, if that's what's available. Right now, I'm actually filming this in quarantine. I really hope everyone is safe and sound in these times. But I have had an ultimate craving literally for baked goods during this quarantine. So I was like, let me make a recipe that is simply delicious, very fast, very simple, and has that flavor, and that we aren't using that sugar and that like regular flour to make it a bit healthy-ish. So this is what I'm bringing to you today. And to even sell you a little bit better on this recipe, guys, you only need one bowl, one fork, and your hands. That's pretty much all you need for this amazing recipe. And you could either use your regular oven or your mini oven and you're good to go. So guys, if you do like this recipe, please give me a big like, a big share, and a big subscribe. And please don't forget to hit that notification button so you never miss a video with Chef D. Now let's get rolling. Let's start by preheating your oven to 330 Fahrenheit. Next, let's line a large baking sheet with foil, parchment paper, or both. You can even use your silicone baking mat. The reason I love doing this is because I don't want the scones to be sticking. I want them to come out nice and perfect when I'm serving them. This step is optional, but this is just another safeguard just to make sure they don't stick. Place a paper towel or a small linen kitchen towel under your large bowl for more stabilization when whisking and mixing. Place your 2 whole eggs in the bowl. Now, if you have large eggs, go for them. If you have medium eggs, also go for them. It just depends on what you have on hand. When this is done, thoroughly whisk the eggs with your fork until all is dissolved. Pour in your whipping cream inside of the bowl, and what you'll notice is that every single time I add in an ingredient, I'm whisking away, as you see here. Let's start by adding our ½ teaspoon of my favorite lime extract. Now, if you don't have, oops, I went a little bit over too far with the lime extract, but it's all good. Heads up, if you don't have lime extract, don't even worry about it. You can always use lemon extract if that's what's available in the grocery stores. Lastly, we'll be adding the OG, the original vanilla extract. Again, whisk everything until blended. Now onto my favorite part, the zesting. Let's begin by zesting our fresh lime. I would say zest away the whole lime. This step truly changes everything. The flavor and the acidity of the zest really make an excellent contrast to the sweetness in this dish. Using the same fork, whisk again until everything is dissolved. Now onto the dry ingredient part of this recipe. Add in your 1 tablespoon of baking powder into the mix, and again whisk away until everything dissolves. Now onto the sugar. Add in your 1/3 of a cup of monk fruit sweetener, swerve sweetener, or regular white granulated sugar. This just depends on your preference and what is also available. Whisk again with your fork until all the sugar dissolves into the batter. Let's add in our 3rd dry ingredient, which is the coconut flour. This will be 1/4 cup. Whisk away until everything is mixed together. Get those sides, get the middle, just get everything so we can have a beautiful thick batter, almost like a pancake consistency. Next, add in your almond flour by parts, meaning add the almond flour by either 1/4 cups or just little by little like you'll see in the video. Now, we are going to be using 2 cups of almond flour for this mix. If you decide to make triple the scones or double the scones, remember, just double the recipe or triple the recipe. But we're doing this part by part as you see in the video. You'll start to notice as you mix this with a fork that that consistency is going to be almost like a very moist crumble. Now, if it is a little bit dry, don't even worry about it. You can just start by adding 1 tablespoon or 1 teaspoon of whatever liquid you used for the recipe. If it's heavy cream, just add 1 teaspoon of heavy cream. If it is soy milk, add 1 tablespoon of soy milk or 1 teaspoon of soy milk, depending on the consistency. Add in your washed and dried blueberries and start by mixing the dough carefully. You'll notice that I'll start by getting the sides of the dough from the bowl and just literally mixing everything in together. You won't have any resistance because the dough is very moist and very crumbly, and it's very simple just to make inside the bowl, and not only that, but make it into a very big ball. Now that you've gathered your dough ball together, it's time to turn it onto the parchment paper for the cutting. Using your hands, press down the ball. Spread it evenly and pat it down in the middle and in all of the sides. What we want to honestly accomplish here is a rustic looking semi-round rectangle. Please remember, this does not have to be perfect. If there are any imperfections to the rectangle circle, just pat them and gently place them back inside the dough as you see in the video. There's no need to add moisture. There's no need to add any liquid to make them stick inside of the dough. Using a sharp, large knife, carefully cut the rectangles into 4 squares. Sunlight that always stays. Then slice each of those squares diagonally into triangles. For this video, I am making my scones on the thicker side, so I will be getting 8 thick scones. But you can also make this exact same recipe and get 10 small scones. If you do want to make those 10 small scones, just head on over to that website, look at the instructions, and it will give you a little trick so that you can get those 10 small beauties. With your knife or a dough scraper and even a very thin spatula, lift carefully the scones and place them onto your prepared baking sheet. As you see in the video, when I cut it, if there are any imperfections, there is no need to worry about that. As you see in the video, I'm just literally taking my finger and pressing the dough back on, and look how it turns out. For the finishing touch, I like lightly spraying a little bit of that cooking spray on top of my blueberry scones, but this is optional. Let's get the scones inside of the oven and let's set the timer for 25 minutes. Now, remember at the beginning of the video, we did preheat the oven to 330 degrees Fahrenheit. Once the scones are done, they should be nice and golden brown on the top. Once the scones are baked, take them out of the oven and let them cool for a good 7 to 10 minutes. With a spatula, a fish spatula, or even a dough scraper, carefully take out the scones and start plating them. Sunlight that always stays in about the waterway. It's that sweet life, sweet life, sweet life. And voila, we have our blueberry and lime scones ready to go. I promise you wouldn't even know that there was no flour in this recipe. It's that good. So guys, I'm so happy to be sharing this recipe with you, especially during these quarantine times when you're craving that beautiful baked scone. As you see here, I mean, look at these beauties. I mean, honestly, the smell, it's pure lime and blueberry, and I just really smell coconut as well. Most importantly though, I mean, look at that texture. I mean, literally guys, look at this texture. I mean, it's absolutely delicious, and I cannot wait to try this because all I can smell in my home is pretty much these scones, and I'm very excited for you guys to try this recipe because I know you are going to love it. So let's give it a little taste test, okay? Guys. Oh. I just got that like tartness of that lime zest. And the blueberries that I actually put in here, they weren't very ripe. They were kind of a little bit on the sour side, but with that hint of like lime zest and that sugar and that coconut meal and that almond meal, man, these are really your go-to. If you do make these recipes, please send me a pic. I would love to see what your creations, and if you put something else in there or took away something, let me know, comment down below. And I would love to reshare your creations on my social media. And I hope that everybody is staying safe and sound during these times. And I can't wait to bring you back new videos every single week. I hope you guys have an amazing day or a wonderful night, and ciao.